welcome to the Independence Update Special Report. I'm your host, Lauren Culver, and today we have with us Julie Nemeth and Grant Smith. They are both here representing Habitat for Humanity with Clarkston. So thank you guys for coming here and talking today. So you guys have a few things that you wanted to mention on what's going on.
Well, we have a new build project over in the southeast part of Clarkston. That's our second second build for Habitat for Clarkston. We're really excited about it. A little different than our first project. First project was more of a new build. This is a remodel that we're doing. So we've done most of the renovation work, and now we're in the process of doing painting and flooring and trying to work to get the family in the home.
Awesome. So when do you guys hope to have all this completed by?
Well, I think the target is by the holidays, although I'm not sure we're going to make it that far, but still kind of a lot of work to do. But it's a great house, it's a great lot with a great family that has a need, and young 6-year-old and a 3-year-old coming into Clarkston, so we're pretty excited about it.
Awesome. More people here, the better, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. So kind of with that, you guys had mentioned that Independence Township has really been a big contributing factor to get this project completed. Did you want to explain that more, Julie?
Sure. Our township staff has second right of refusal. The township in general has second right of refusal on tax foreclosed properties. So in 2014, they passed a new bylaw in their forward-thinking mindset that they have to pass a bylaw that they could take that first right of refusal and pass it to a nonprofit. So with that new bylaw on the books, they were able to pass this home to Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County. And Oakland County, the Habitat Oakland paid them those back taxes, and then we obtained it locally so we could refurbish it for this family. Wow. So it's really the township's dedication to our local My Habitat Clarkston process and their foresight to say, here's something that's viable that we can put back on the tax books and bring children back into our school district. So very forward thinking on our township staff's part.
That's really awesome to hear.
Yes, it was a really great partnership.
Yeah, awesome. And along with that, you guys also have a community impact weekend that's going on in the beginning of November.
Right. We host community impact weekends the first full weekend in November and the last full weekend of April. And we put up to 1,100 volunteers on the streets of Clarkston and Davisburg to fulfill service projects. So we're always looking for projects. If an elder needs their yard, fall yard maintenance done, if they need, if they're having issues with the porch or roofing, we can look at local resources and match those to the project on those weekends. If it doesn't fit into a weekend in November and April, we do it year long. The Clarkston Chamber maintains a volunteer database for us. So if people just go to clarkston.org, they can enter. It's a very quick process just to enter your name. Then we email out through Constant Contact volunteer opportunities, including all the opportunities that will be available on our community impact weekends. I think right now we have almost 30 projects lined up for November already.
Wow.
So we're really in a need of volunteers to sign up. There's a
What
lot.
are some of those projects?
A lot of them are coming from our Independence Township Senior Center. Again, we're working closely with the township.
Right.
I believe last I heard there were about 20 elders who needed some type of help right at their property or inside their home. And again, I'm not privy to those exact details, but I do know we're getting projects up. We have a critical home repair we're working on for some roofing. So there's a variety of things that we're going to need help with, just simply to serve our neighbors, to be here for each other.
A lot of things are, landscaping, roof repairs, a lot of normal things that people take care of that, the elderly can't do anymore. So, and as time goes on, these things get further and further behind, or more decrepit, if you will, and there's some work that needs to be done. And I think it's also important to note that, while there's a lot of successful people in Clarkston, there's also a big need and a lot of people that need some help in Clarkston as well. So, with the township's help and Habitat's help, and as well as some of the local churches and so forth, it's kind of a really neat weekend to get a lot of great things done.
That's really cool. Now, as far as volunteers, does it specify on how old the volunteers have to be or anything like that?
We really work, as much as we do, we look at the habitat, the home of the person and their property. We always try to have enough opportunities there, so no matter what your age or physical ability, there will be something for you to help engage in your community. So we do We typically in the past have done letter writing to soldiers. We tie blankets for local hospitals. That way, nobody is excluded from participating in our community impact weekends. There's always something. We've packed packed lunches for the needy. Just a lot of things that we do to engage the entire community. And the whole purpose is just simply to be there for each other. A lot of times in this day and age, families are disengaged geographically, and we just need to help each other.
I totally agree with that. Totally agree.
Yeah.
So again, what's the date of the Impact Weekend?
Saturday, November 7th and Sunday, November 8th. And the way to find out about opportunities is, again, to go back to clarkston.org and simply to sign up for the volunteer My Habitat Clarkston's Volunteer Clearinghouse. You'll see an icon, click on that. It's a very quick process to put your name in. We could email something out and it may not be a good weekend for you to participate, but then, you know, if you're a plumber and we need plumbing in January, we'll send out an email seeking plumbers, or, you know, somebody who can lay concrete, pour concrete. So as long as your name's in there, you don't have to do it every time. It's just let us have access to you to know that you have an interest in helping your neighbor.
Right.
You know, in fact, or if you got some of the kids here in the school district need service hours or that type of thing, it's a great opportunity too.
That's what I was thinking as
on.
well. Yeah, doesn't matter. A high school student can do this as part of their hours for college application or volunteer hours, something like that.
Absolutely.
Sounds like everyone at some point can volunteer if they really want to.
There's something for everybody to do, for sure.
And right, you know, we all have really great causes that we do in the community, but we're really trying to be that volunteer clearinghouse. Like even if, let's say, the Optimists need assistance with something, we can send out a constant contact and say, Optimists need volunteers for this. It's just anyone who wants to participate in community and in volunteerism, we just need your name. And it's only, that database is only used for this purpose. We won't sell it to anybody.
That's good to know.
That's right, so don't worry about your privacy and security. It's completely for Clarkston and Davisburg-based community volunteerism.
Awesome. Well, also Grant, while we have you here, you worked you being with the Clarkston State Bank, you've worked with the school on sponsoring our field house, the Clarkston football field house.
That's right.
How did that all go about?
Well, we became aware of the project through a couple of different sources, and there was a lot of money to raise, and it was fairly aggressive and what have you. And you know, after meeting with Coach Richardson, there was definitely a need. If you're familiar with way back when the high school was built, you know, there was some funding issues that they ran out of money to kind of finish some of the athletic facilities. So, you know, just really came to me and sat down. We talked about it. We got some other people involved. You know, and then over time, you know, we raised a little bit of money. We felt we needed to do a little bit more, so we did. And we also got a few other banks to join the party and come in. And, so it's all worked out pretty well. And I think the finished product looks great, and it's a big addition to the school. And hopefully, you know, maybe host some high school playoff games that, you know, are not Clarkston games in the future as well, as they're always looking for other places to host games that can hold large crowds. So
that's a good idea.
So there's some additional revenue maybe that the boosters can raise as well.
That's a good idea. Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you again for contributing that.
You're welcome.
So anything else you guys wanted to add for My Habitat Humanity?
You know, I would just add that I think these are the things that make Clarkston unique and Independence Township unique in terms of the things that go on. I mean, it's a very affluent area, but yet you still have to make sure that you look at, you know, some of the things that are going on around us, and people are in need of help. And that's what's unique about this, and a lot of community leaders and support coming together really to make it the community that it is. And I think that's why people love to raise their families here, and why people come back to, you know, that they graduate and go off to college and like to come back and raise their family and so forth. So I think it's what makes Clarkston unique, and I would just encourage people to get involved.
Cool. Cool. Good message.
And we are sending a message. Clarkston is raising the bar from a community perspective. We've had parties from Lake Orion and Rochester talk to us about the model we're creating here in Clarkston.
Really?
So we really are setting a standard for how to come together as a community. So it's a pretty exciting time.
So
when people are coming, knocking on our door to ask what we're doing.
Our advice, essentially, yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys again for coming on here and giving us all these updates. And that will do it for this week's edition of Independence Update Special.